The story of the Israel Cancer Research Fund is fascinating and exciting. Some 35 years ago, a group of Canadian and American philanthropists, their colleagues in Israel, and scientists in Israel recognized the need to increase the support for cancer researchers in that country to make an impact on the world. 35 years later, look how far we've come from this labor of love. The number of discoveries are endless, and all of them impact health for cancer survivors around the world. Discoveries in our laboratories from Haifa to Eilat, and Rehovot to Yerushalayim have made an impact, something that we are very proud of.
We have a slogan at ICRF, which I love. Big, beautiful picture of an elderly gentleman and a lovely young little girl sitting on his lap, peering up to him and saying, "Grandpa, what was cancer?"
What attracted me to ICRF were the people, the commitment, the passion, and the caring, a tremendous group of people. The focus on scientists in Israel, high-caliber scientists, 2 of which have received Nobel Prizes, as extremely indicative of the type of screening that the ICRF does for their scientific grants.
I've never seen so much drive and energy by individuals who are totally focused on doing just one thing, and that is to raise money for the cancer researchers in Israel, where the money is so badly needed.
Since the early days of ICRF, incredible things have happened in and around the state of Israel that have impacted the world stage. And in this small country of 5 or 6 million have been an even smaller group of cancer researchers who have maintained their dedicated focus to making discoveries that would improve the lives of billions of people around the world.
I find it inspiring to know that these scientists are working in Israel, dedicated to finding a cure for cancer, and that they are doing that amidst an environment that is sometimes very hostile, certainly very challenging, and I think that's very inspiring to be a part of a group and know that is being done on our behalf.
Well, when I tell people what I've gone through, that I have had cancer, people automatically assume that I've gone through tremendous suffering. Well, I haven't. I haven't gone through one day of downtime. And I compare it to other people because I've obviously been in a number of clinics over the last 3 years and hospitals, and I see what people go through. I haven't had to go through that. And in part, it's early intervention, but in a large part, it's the benefit of the drug I'm on.
Andy has been helped by a drug named Gleevec, the work of a ICRF-sponsored scientist came up with. So it's beautiful. That was the reason that I got involved, was to see people surviving cancer and not sadly ending up the way my late husband and his father ended up. So it was very beautiful.
This year alone, almost 250,000 Canadians will have that most frightening of conversations with their doctor. 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will get this dreaded disease during their lifetime. But I believe with the funds that we raise from events like this, we will change all of that. What was once hopeless, there's now hope and a reason to believe in the tomorrows. Where we talked about remission before, we now talk about cure.
I think it's through agencies like the ICRF, through their unique method and approach that they have using scientific research in Israel, which is much more cost effective than that same research being done here in Canada. With an approach like that, I think we're going to make continued progress in fighting and finding a cure for cancer.
There's no end in sight of what we can accomplish. We think, and our hope is, that in 20 to 30 years, that chemotherapy and radiation will be a thing of the past, and we'll have very specific, non-toxic treatments that aim directly at abnormal genes to silence them, to shut them off, so that malignancy, once it occurs, is reversed. And that's a goal that most scientists that work in the field share. And I'm sure that that's the direction because we've already seen it with the success that Andy Faas has enjoyed. with a pill, one pill a day, has reversed his leukemia. And that's the expectation for all of the cancers.
Listening to Dr. Friedman makes me realize that I am old enough to know what it is like to treat a child with cancer, but that I am young enough to be able to dream that cancer one day will be in the history books of medicine. It's amazing to think how far we've come, and it's wonderful to imagine how far we can go.